I get so many comments about what am I doing wrong? How come nothing's changing? Why am I not seeing any movement? And I'm going to talk to you about one, why that's happening, and two, how do you correct it so you can manifest your SP back? Hey everyone, it's Kim Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I am really excited to be back here with you today. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love and appreciate you all. And listen, who am I? I am someone who loves to help people empower themselves to manifest their SPs back and keep them for good, like I have done, and teach you how to get out of your own way in order to do that so you become unstoppable in your life, especially your love life. So let's talk about this, because this is something that I get a lot on TikTok, which, by the way, if you're not following me on TikTok, please check out the link in the description below, or at least the handle that I go by on TikTok, as well as I'm on Instagram. And then if you're not in my free Facebook group, definitely go in. I'm actually reposting a lot of my TikToks in there because they're really fucking good. And I know not everybody's on TikTok. So anyways, just different ways to learn more. I tell everything that you need to know on all my on all my free platforms. I don't withhold any information. So if you buy a course from me, it's not necessarily anything new. It's just focused and structured with some written exercises to keep you on track of what you need to do, so there are no other distractions and looking at what do I say, what do I do, which video should I watch. It's all put together for you. If you feel like you want to work with me too, I have my monthly coaching group that is really fun, as well as my coaching programs that I do live, and I always record them, so you always have access to the replays, and you can watch it as many times as needed. All of that info can be found on my website, which again, the link is below. So let's talk about this stuff, because the bottom line is this, is most people that are coming to me and saying, am I doing something wrong? How come I'm not seeing any movement? I've been doing this for X amount of days or X amount of weeks or X amount of months, and yet nothing is changing. How come it's not working? And the problem is this, most of those people, I'm going to split them in two categories. One is they're very new to law of assumption, and they don't understand that their thoughts are creating their reality. Two, they are still dominantly in the old reality, therefore the old self-concept and the old version of their SP, which is why they're wondering where it is, which is why they're saying and affirming and thinking and believing and assuming and attaching meaning in their reality that there is no movement. I'm not seeing any changes. And when you're stuck in those phases, you will get out if you keep implementing, if you keep educating yourself, if you keep getting some kind of support and reinforcement, whatever you need to do to pull you out of that stage the quickest. Because staying stuck in that stage is going to keep you from manifesting what you want. So I'm going to give you the truth. I'm going to give you what you need to understand to move out of that, because the reality is this: there is no one to change but self. And you're not affirming, in essence, to get something from outside of you. So we're not looking outside of us and focusing on the SP that's right in front of your face right now, or the one you have the last memory with, and wanting to see them change. You have to create the change within you. If your outer reality is a mirror reflecting to you your mental thoughts, and your dominant mental thoughts, when you think of your SP, you think of yourself in relation to your SP, or you're attaching meanings, which are thoughts, about what's happening between you and your SP. If it's still the old shit, if it's still the old story, if it's still thoughts that are saying and inferring and fucking implying and whatever else the fucking words are, confirming, reaffirming, choosing and deciding that it is not working, that you are not getting what you want, that nothing is changing, well, then that's why you don't see anything. Again, I'm going to say it again. Your outer reality is merely a reflection. It's a fucking mirror that is reflecting back to you. Inside you, your brain, your dominant thoughts, your main ideas, your main perspectives, your main beliefs, your main assumptions, your main thoughts. So when we start affirming for something new, people will see sprinkles of it showing up in their reality because you're that fucking powerful, like I say in every video. But it is not your fucking dominant story yet. So how the fuck can you sit there and expect it to show up right away? You have to look at this from a realistic perspective. And listen, I say this with love because I know with law of attraction, we've been bamboozled, and holy fuck, all these stupid fucking shit on YouTube where they're like, manifest them to tell you I love you in 24 hours, whatever. Yes, it can happen, but for 99.9% of the people, it doesn't happen within 24 hours. And then people feel like they are doing something wrong. So no, you're not doing anything wrong other than you're still stuck in a prevalent, dominant thought pattern that when you think of this, you think of shitty thoughts. You think of nothing is changing. You think it's the same old bullshit, which is why it keeps looking the same old bullshit in your reality. So you really have to understand what you're doing with your mind and understanding how simple it is that your thoughts create. Your thoughts create. Your thoughts create. You have to pay attention to what is going on in your mind because most of you have programming that say otherwise, and that programming is running the show. So if you want to have a new show, so to speak, a new experience, you have to interrupt the old show and replace it with the new one. This isn't magic. It's understanding you are part of one. You have consciousness running through you. Your only reality you are experiencing is what you focus on in your mind. So if what you're focusing on in your mind is dominantly the story of you not getting what you want, then that will continue to manifest. Being a conscious manifester means I'm aware of my thinking. I'm understanding that I'm reprogramming my mind. I'm changing my story of myself. I'm moving myself in the wish fulfilled. I'm thinking from the reality in my mind that I already have what I want. Because she fucking thinks different. She's not the fucking bitch sitting over there crying, eating a fucking bowl of ice cream, wondering where her SP is. No, she's fucking happy about life. She's excited. She's got her boo-boo. She's happy. She's waking up next to her person every day, and she trusts and understands she's the fucking operant power of her reality. No one has free will in your reality. I have personally tested this a million gazillion times, including with my current SP. You need to start testing it if you don't believe it, because I can't make you believe. I can hype you up. I'm a very good hype person. I can hype your ass up. I can motivate you. I can speak clearly and break things down so you understand on a, easy level. But you have to decide every day, my thoughts create my reality. I am the operant power. Therefore, what I focus on at some point has to manifest. I will shift into that reality where this is now what I am experiencing. There's always movement. You just may not experience it in this current reality with your five senses, but it does not mean that it's not fucking moving. And you got to get that shit out of your head. You have to break the pattern of needing to see it in your 3D before you fucking believe it. That you're literally doing the opposite of that. You're trusting in it, you're dwelling in it, you're fixating on it in your mind, knowing because you understand you're the operant power, and the more you reside there internally in your brain and experience that reality over and over in your mind, at some point, you will naturally shift into that reality. So you're not building enough momentum in the beginning usually to experience a big change in your reality, to shift into a new parallel reality, because your fucking dominant story is still the old story. I've been there, done that. I get it. Everyone has to go through that. And the only way to get rid of that story is to reprogram it with a new one. Because here's the thing. I know some coaches say that, well, just follow your joy and just be happy and go focus on good things that make you feel good and you'll manifest what you want. Okay, let's look at that. I've been there, done that. I used to watch Abraham Hicks when I was into law of attraction, and I used to practice what she said. And this is what would happen. if I happened to manifest something in because I wasn't focused on that specific person, right? And they manifested back in my reality, I was not able to sustain them because once they came in my reality, all the fucking programming of my shitty natural assumptions with my self-concept, which was how I saw myself in relation to them and the old story of them, because I had done no work to reprogram it, I couldn't sustain it. You can't fucking sustain it. So you have to be aware of it, you have to change your thinking, and you have to rehearse it over and over in your mind until you actually start thinking this way. You start believing this, you start accepting this as truth, and it takes time. Everybody's different, how long that time is. Don't worry about if it took you a year or it takes you a month. Everybody's fucking different. All you worry about is you, because it's your fucking life, your brain, and your reality. Nothing else really fucking matters in the sense of comparing yourself to other people's stories. And most people that send in success stories don't sustain what they want because their SP's back and they get super triggered, and then they go through the process again. And most people, it can take a couple times, like I did. Well, listen, honestly, the reason why it happened for me was because nobody was teaching self-concept really. Agnes Vivarelli was really the only one talking about self-love. But that was really it. Nobody else was really breaking it down because most of these people haven't manifested back their SPs. So how would they know? How would you know if you don't have a pattern, if you don't understand what your natural assumptions are, if you don't understand how you're being triggered partner after partner, while if you manifested in multiple SPs back and you weren't able to sustain it, how do you understand? You can't. So that's why it wasn't really being talked about. And that was the game changer for me because I had already manifested SPs back, this one including 3 fucking times in almost 3 years. And before him, multiple SPs, but I was not able to sustain it. Well, now I am. Now I have what I want. Now I am secure and confident. Now I have this amazing version who has my fucking back and is showing up for me every single fucking day in every way that I absolutely love and adore. And I don't gotta lift a fucking finger. I don't feel insecure in the process, and I don't worry about anything. If anything shows up in my reality in regards to him or myself in relation to him that is not what I desire, I just ignore it, and I go within and focus on what I want, trusting in the unseen. And that is how you build up momentum. But I could not get there until I got stabilized in my self-concept. Because when I wasn't stabilized in my new self-concept, before I did that reprogramming, every time I was fucking triggered, it set me the fuck back. Every time he started conforming, I would sabotage it by fixating and focusing on what was not happening and always attaching a dominant meaning that I wasn't gonna get what I want. So I could not keep momentum going. Now, I have nothing but positive momentum. I have nothing but 99.999% momentum in my favor. That is how consistent and regular and frequent it is. And in between those moments, which there really isn't a lot of space where we're not interacting, I am calm, cool, and collected and living in my mind. I am affirming what I'm experiencing with him and appreciating that in my mind. And then I'm affirming what yet I would still love to desire from him. And I don't need to rush it. I don't need to have a conversation with him. I don't want to nag him. I don't fixate on any of that shit. Why? Because I fucking reprogram my self-concept. I didn't believe that it wasn't working. I did not believe that I wasn't going to get what I want. And I did not question and doubt and wonder when it was going to manifest in my reality. I knew the unseen was always working because I believed in this shit. And I knew I just had to get out of my own way, which was my own internal programming. And now that I'm on the other side of this, it's so much easier than you can even fucking imagine. And I promise you will get there if you follow what I'm suggesting in all my YouTube videos and all my TikToks. See, you have to stabilize yourself as well, that you are the operant power. And when you're living in the end, when you're thinking from the end, when you trust and you know, I'm gonna get this. This is on its way. This is mine. You move into that state of peace that I keep talking about. And it's a state of empowerment. And you don't need to rush shit. I don't need to rush a fucking thing. I'm enjoying it. I've never been able to do that. If I did not have constant reassurance in the early stages of relationship, there was no way I could enjoy just letting it unfold and knowing it's working in my favor because I was too fucking insecure with my old self-concept. Now I'm not. So now it's a whole nother game. This is what I talk about, the game of life, of how easy it can be. You just got to get to that side of it. There is no inconsistency. Conforming happens really fucking fast in your reality when your dominant story is in play of what you want. I have literally had affirmations that I've said, thoughts that I've said that I wanted him to do or experience in a matter of hours, days, sometimes a week. That's been the longest. It moves really fucking fast. But this is about trusting. This is about moving yourself by reinforcing your thoughts create your reality, that there is no people don't have free will in your reality, that all you need to do is worry about what's going on up in here, experiencing that inner relief you feel when you are living in the end, when you are connecting to that version of you that is feeling the experience she desires. Now, you know how I feel. Feelings don't manifest. Your thoughts are what manifests, but your feelings are created by your thoughts. So the more your thoughts keep shifting and focusing, your feelings have to catch up. And this is how I know that feelings don't manifest. If we look at it, it's the intention and it's the thought, and it has to be the dominant thought. Because if you look at, if we want to experience a reality where SP is loving you and all about you, right? You can move into that and you can feel that. You can feel what that feels like to be loved and wanted by your person, or what you perceive that would feel like for yourself. But we could do the same thing where, like, I love chocolate cake, especially like chocolate ganache. Psh, I'm in heaven, okay? So I can experience that same inner feeling about fucking cake that I can for, having my SP be in love with me. So what separates then? How does your brain know? How does the world know? Because you're part of the universe, right? So how do you determine what it is that you want if you can cultivate the same feeling for two different experiences? By your thoughts, by being specific. So your thoughts are what manifests. But the reason why people are so attached to feelings is because obviously, if you're feeling like shit while you're affirming, that means your dominant story is still dominantly the old story. So how do you move out of that, where there's techniques that shift you out of it fast, but at the end of the day, you got to reprogram your mind. So you have to build up your awareness in what you're thinking all day. You need to put some fucking effort in, stop being lazy. Put effort in and fucking retrain your mind to focus on the outcome you want, no matter what. And when you feel triggered, when you feel doubtful, because you will, you fucking go to the techniques and you go to the thinking the new thoughts from you having what you want. You need to build up your self-concept about who the fuck you are when it comes to this person, how amazing, worthy, and deserving you are. Put yourself into the wish fulfilled. If you are their boyfriend, if you are their girlfriend, if you are their significant other, what the fuck does that feel like for you? What would you be focusing on in your mind? What would your thoughts be? And you need to fucking affirm. You need to think your thoughts throughout the day and make them become more dominant. That needs to end up being the dominant story, because when it shifts internally in you and it's your dominant story, you're going to feel completely different dominantly, because your thoughts now are on repeat and imprinted your subconscious mind. So you automatically think this way more than you were thinking the other shitty self-concept way. And then that's when you get the movement like I've been having for quite a while now. That's where you want to be. We don't want to keep manifesting them in and out. And some of you, listen, I had to do that. But again, nobody was teaching self-concept. So I didn't have anyone to say, hey, here's the key. This is what I learned from manifesting in multiple SPs, including my current one. It was easy to manifest them back in. But once they came in, guess what? My subconscious, I had my triggers showing up. And I didn't reprogram my self-concept when it came to love. I didn't reprogram my limiting beliefs from childhood that said I'm not good enough, that I'm going to be abandoned, that I'm not going to be chosen. So that's why I was not able to sustain it. And that is what my personal mission has been since I figured that out a year ago and said, I'm going to manifest my SP back in and do whatever the fuck it takes so I overcome this shit and master this shit in this area of my life. Because this is the area that I struggled in the most. And I have done that. And I still work on it every day because that is what I believe as a conscious creator. I don't drop the ball, so to speak, with anything in my life, with business, with health, with friends and family. What I want to keep manifesting in my reality, I'm like, thank you. I recognize it. I appreciate it. I say, I affirm it in my mind. I love that this is happening. I love that it continues to happen. So what you focus on is what will be. So you have to learn how to get it, feel yourself living in the end so you experience that inner relief. Remind yourself that your self-concept is important to reprogram, because then you knock them off the fucking pedestal and you won't have that anxiety of needing them because you feel like you're not worth anything if they don't validate it for you because you give it to yourself now, which is going to help you tremendously. And then you'll be able, when your self-concept's on point, to really see them in the desired version of them that you want, because now your self-concept matches that version. I don't know if you can hear the train, sorry, if you can. And then you have to reinforce that you are the operant power, that they have no free will. You have to learn how to trust in the unseen and, really understand what everyone is you pushed out, and notice that it's happening around you all the time. You are this powerful, I fucking promise you. All right, so I hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.